Yo, what's up with y'all, man? I hope you're doing good. If you're new and you're a fan of the NBA, subscribe to this channel. So let's get straight into it.
Like it's Minute Maid, hijack 4, renegade, 24, number 8, Kobe shit fade away, ballin' since 11th grade, still in school, let them hate.
January 9th, 2020 is the day that I posted this video right here with the Super Bowl damn near Karzimba-esque title, the greatest rebuild of all time. Yeah, I said it, and I'm doubling down on that stance today by basically posting an update video. Now, if you're new-ish to the channel and haven't watched that video or don't even remember me posting that video, I highly suggest that you go ahead and rewatch or watch it for the first time. It was a complete vibe. One of my personal favorite on the channel, might I have to say. It's very important that you watch that video because this is an update video and a lot have changed since that video has been posted. Things have gotten a heck of a lot sweeter for OKC since I made that video. And since you may be too stubborn to go ahead and watch that same video that I've been talking about for the last like 30 seconds, here is a quick flashback. These boys out here mentioning teams like the Warriors and how other teams have assets to make a trade for Karl-Anthony Towns or Giannis Antetokounmpo, when in reality, screw all the other teams, OKC has the most out of everybody. They literally trump every single offer that any other team has to have. OKC's bag is that deep, it's damn near limitless. And to add on to the avalanche of picks that they have available, they have managed to be an actual decent team. Now, in past pieces of content that was previously posted onto this platform, I put it out there that this OKC team isn't all that bad at all, and they would be a playoff team in the Eastern Conference. My two biggest issues with them going into the year was, for one, their morale and also their inconsistency. So the fans of this organization right here do not only have a feel-good situation for the future, but they also have one going on right now as we speak that many other people envisioned as well so far. This season was set to be a dead, dready, dry one for OKC. Players like CP, Danilo Gallinari, and Steven Adams were supposed to drag their feet to the arena every other night to hoop for this cloudy organization. But instead, all those guys are keeping their head up and they're all smiles. And their sense of optimism trickled throughout their entire organization and fan base. Man's got everybody thinking that just maybe their situation isn't all so bad. Their change of perception is the reason why they're better than they were supposed to be. And now they've put themselves in the position to do so many things and take so many routes in the future and do the unthinkable. They could ride this wave with CP3 until the wagon falls off and continue to develop the young talent that they have on their roster and that they will have from the NBA draft years from now. They could package a couple of their picks and trade up in the NBA draft on the My League tip, or maybe even package all their assets for a life-changing player in the league right now. Whatever you want, they have for you. What they have in their hands are all the tools necessary to create one of the greatest rebuilds of all time. The man behind all of these moves is Sam Presti. Now, just because he had one horrid stain on his career does not diminish the tremendous things he's done. And also, very quick disclaimer, that stain was not his fault and is by far one of the worst narratives that NBA fans still cling on to when it comes to limiting just how great Sam Presti actually is of a GM. That needs to be deaded. It was ownership's fault for being cheap. The ownership put him in a very tough position by saying that they weren't going to spend an X certain amount of money, so they basically hinted towards James Harden being traded, and Sam Presti was just doing what a good employee is supposed to do, and that's listening to his boss regardless if he thinks his boss is right or wrong. Saying that Sam Presti isn't a good GM in my eyes is equivalent to saying that because Steph Curry hasn't won one of the more valuable awards in the NBA, the Finals MVP award, he isn't one of the greatest of all time. No, that is beyond wrong and is a flawed argument in the same exact vein. Finals MVP or not, at worst case scenario, Steph Curry is a top 15, at least top 20 in most people's eyes of all time. Now that I'm done with that mini rant that has just about nothing to do with this video, let's go back right on topic. Now, to pick up where we left off from January 9th, 2020 to the date, what's today's date? November 27th, 2020. Damn, that's a minute ago. One of the first moves that Sam Presti decided to do was go ahead and break down this reboot that OKC had this past season, and it started with that man Chris Paul first. The CP3 deal was very mutual on both sides and a very respectable deal on both sides as well. Now, it kind of sucks that OKC didn't get to have the Phoenix Suns 10th overall pick, but you know what it is, and they can't complain because of what they got in return for Chris Paul, which led on to many more things. They got that man Ricky Rubio. They ended up getting Kelly Kelly Oubre. Now both of those players they did have in their possession, and they could have kept both of them if they wanted to, but they ended up flipping them for more picks. And even a young player that a lot of people like me are kind of high on. Now the reason why I love the CP3 trade for the Oklahoma City Thunder, specifically to the Phoenix Suns, is because at the end of the day it helps the Oklahoma City Thunder's main agenda, which is making as many teams as possible in the Western Conference, their same conference, good. That way they make life extremely tough for the Los Angeles Clippers. Now to add on to this agenda, what they also did right after they got rid of their first point guard, their second point guard, that man Dennis Schroeder, got traded to the Los Angeles Lakers, the Clippers' arch nemesis. Now what they got in return really isn't that important. They got that man Danny Green. They went ahead and flipped that man, of course, as we all know, and they also got a late first round pick back in return. Now in this deal, they were completely okay with helping the Los Angeles Lakers because they had no intentions in competing in any way, shape, or form this season for an NBA title or playoff spot or anything like that. No, they're in competition to be one of the worst teams in the league right now. But what they're contending for, being one of the worst teams in the league, may not be a long competition at all, because in my eyes they're going to be right back up there in just about 3 to 4 years from now. So they help the Phoenix Suns get better, and they help the Los Angeles Lakers get better, and those two teams are going to make the Clippers' life a heck of a lot harder in their path to a potential NBA championship. A lot of you need to remember that the Los Angeles Clippers owe the OKC Thunder so many picks. The Clippers don't have any of their picks for the next few years. That belongs to the Oklahoma City Thunder, and that means that if the Clippers continue to disappoint year after year after year, in just about 1 or 2 years, that man Kawhi Leonard, his contract is up, and also Paul George, he's viewed as possibly a negative contract in the NBA. So knowing Kawhi Leonard and his mysterious ways, the man may mess around and leave. And once Kawhi Leonard leaves the Los Angeles Clippers, bro, they are big screwed, and OKC is big up, or up big. Excuse me, my wordplay is kind of funky today. They're making moves right now behind the scenes that a lot of people may not actually catch on to until it actually happens, and the Clippers saw Kawhi leave, and OKC is over here getting extra lottery picks, a 6th, 7th overall pick come the year 2025, 2026, 2027. The point that I'm trying to get to is that OKC is hella loaded, and they just got even more loaded by giving away their beloved big man in Steven Adams. And in return for that, man, they got George Hill, a bunch of irrelevant players, and even more picks. They want to suck this year. This man Sam Presti is an evil genius, and I spotted this out almost 9-10 months ago. To come to a conclusion, OKC put themselves in a position to have hella options and freedom. Those are two things that everybody strives for, no matter what context you're applying this to. And OKC got that by releasing 2 mid and deteriorating stars in Russ and CP3 in just the right time. Sam Presti is a genius, an evil genius, because he sees some of the most raved about prospects who will be in the NBA in just a few years, and he's aligning himself and his team in the perfect position to snatch up a potential Cade Cunningham, who is next level special and is an Oklahoma native. And the year 2022 is the Amani Bates draft. He's viewed as the closest thing to Kevin Durant. In the first version of this video, I hinted to Bates potentially being a Thunder by using his shadow in the thumbnail. I do these type of things on purpose, and it may just be manifested by the universe. But anyway, they can aim to select these 2 specific stars in the making and Cade by selecting him with their pick, since they aren't too hot right now, or trade up for him if they don't end up getting the #1 pick, because that is what that man Cade Cunningham is going to be. In my eyes, I don't know what it is, but I've always felt that he's going to be an Oklahoma City Thunder since last year. I can promise you that, and I can potentially promise you, if that doesn't end up working out for some weird reason, if that man Sam Presti wants a star right now, then he can actually make that happen. Or what if they waited, selected Cade, and traded for Giannis Antetokounmpo next summer, thus creating a duo of Giannis and Cade, or trade for another OKC native in Trae Young. The possibilities for this team are endless. They have the assets to do so, so do not look at me crazy. Sam Presti is making up for the major F-ups his higher-ups caused when they had an opportunity to contain 3 future MVPs. It feels like OKC was always destined to be dominant in the league at some point in time, and the universe is letting them run it back. And that could be the reason why we are currently witnessing possibly the greatest rebuild of all time. This is the end of the video though, man. I really do appreciate you for coming over here on my channel and seeing what I have to talk about today. Before you go ahead and leave, I just want to say that I need you to leave a like on this video, share this video, and also comment down below your thoughts. But beside all of that, I really hope that you liked this video and shared it, because I'm for real this time, and I hope that you go ahead and make your day great. Until then, I'll get right with you.
No way, no way, yeah. Remember back when I couldn't get a play, yeah. stay, I got the work, made the surf, free the way, Told my girl who'd ever thought.